Hello everyone and welcome to the Urban Bee Project, where I will be setting up, supporting and caring for an entire bee colony in the garden of a British 1960s council estate. One of the biggest things that you hear when you're setting up a beehive is bees need a lot of room. Fields, massive gardens, an entire expanse for just one hive. But yet I've seen that this just isn't the case. Bee populations are declining all over the world. They're dropping every single year, yet they are one of the most important insects on the planet for the global ecosystem. And looking at my garden full of flowers, do I ever see a honeybee? Maybe one, maybe two, per season, not often. And I had to do something about that. Now, I shied away from it for too long, for very obvious reasons. It didn't feel right. Criticism from left, right and centre. Beekeepers, non-beekeepers are like, oh, you need more room. You can't do it in just such a small garden. You need so much more room. But I'm going to prove them wrong. And I'm not the only person who is proving them wrong. This is the South East London chemical heat plant, in the middle of industrial London. They have 5 beehives on the tiniest sliver of grass. If they can have that in the centre of London, I can have that too. Now, of course, you're going to be questioning the legality of this. Now, in some areas in the UK, it is illegal to have beehives in residential areas. But in the overwhelming majority of places, it is actually fully legal and you don't even need permission. But remember, always double check with your local council. If you're outside of the UK, I'm sorry, I'm not any help there. As you can see, my garden is full of plant life, and despite how messy it looks, it's actually heavily regulated. There are flowers everywhere, and I mean everywhere. There's a bumblebee there. But yet, my garden isn't even 40 foot long. The semi-trailers that I drive at work are longer than this garden. But yet, I will do everything in my power to make sure I have a stable, comfortable, and strong hive. Now, because I'm allergic to normality, despite being in the UK, I got myself a Langstroth hive, which is basically the American and international standard, whilst in the UK they use the national hive, which is much more square as opposed to rectangular like the Langstroth is. It is a 10-frame Langstroth. I've got 1 brood box and 2 supers at the moment. Just to get it started, I am planning on adding a 2nd brood box probably a bit further into the season or maybe next year just to expand the colony. And of course, as you can see, there's no bees in it yet. I've yet to get the nuke. The town that I live in is actually covered in green. Despite the fact that it is quite a suburban and quite a densely populated area, there is plenty of parks, forests and areas with plenty of flowers. But yet, those areas are untapped by bee life. I mean, there's 2 bumblebees literally over there right now. But there is so much expanse, so many flowers, but no bees. So I'm going to change that. That's why I'm doing this. 1, to prove to you and to the world that if you want to help save the bees, but you're limited on space, you can do it. And to expand the bee population in my local area. And lastly, because honey is really expensive, and I think it'd be really cool to make my own and know that it's not that blended Chinese wet honey crap. Oh, and really sorry for the background whistling throughout this video. Someone is just blowing it for the sake of it, and it's bothering me as well. But please, stay tuned. The nucleus colony is coming in tomorrow. Thank you all for watching.